Hey babies, it's your mom. It's not your mom, I'm not your mom. Can we just take a second to imagine me as a mother? Not your mom, but we all know who I am, come on, otherwise you wouldn't be here, right? Today I'm going to do, what do you know, part 4 of my Q&A. I thought I was going to be able to finish that thing in 3 parts, clearly not. Once again, let's just dive right in, okay? From Padfoot, hello. You've been here a long time. Let's see. Hey officer, what do you think will happen with Tara and Heath on their supply run? Tara still has no idea about Denise. There's more than one question, but we'll go. What do I think will happen with them? Well, I mean, obviously they have, where they're on their supply run, they don't know what's going on with Negan right now. And God help him. And she still doesn't even know Denise is dead, you're right. I'm worried for them, let's put it that way. I'm extremely worried for Tara and Heath out on that run because, you know, even though Negan has a lot of his group there with him, I don't believe for a minute that that's everybody, you know, and I think that there's probably some little groups of saviors out and around just keeping an eye on things, and if Tara and Heath run into them, I mean, I would hope that they would just make it through and everything would be okay, but we know that's not how it goes on this show. So I think there might be a run-in. Let's see, what are your predictions for Carol and Morgan at the Kingdom? I would have never imagined that of the people that we have on the show right now, that it would be Carol and Morgan going to the Kingdom. You know, just based on what I know from the comics and how it went in the comics, I wouldn't have imagined that it would be Carol and Morgan. I honestly don't know. I mean, there's a lot of different story arcs that both of them could take. Will Carol get with Ezekiel? Like, what the fuck is going on? I don't know. I mean, like, there's tons of things that I think could happen, but I honestly don't really... And people keep asking me about predictions. I don't feel comfortable predicting anything about this next season until we see a trailer, because I honestly don't know what the fuck they're doing right now. I don't. So, let's see, question 3, seeing as season 6 had no major character deaths, on screen at least, how many do you think we'll lose and who? Thank you. You're welcome, Padfoot. I think that we're gonna lose at least a couple. Negan doesn't really dispose of too many main characters in the whole thing. I mean, Glenn in the comics, and then Abraham gets the arrow through the head, and then Holly died at the Savior's compound. And then, of course, they go and attack Alexandria. But I'm talking about, like, main people here. He doesn't really kill that many of them. I think he tries not to, just to show, like, I can be reasonable, but I've talked about who I want to die, but I don't know who actually will. You know, you all know that I want it to be Daryl, not Glenn. I wouldn't be upset if Abraham died. I know a lot of you love Abraham, and that's fine. I like him more in the comics, personally. I don't hate him in either one, but I just wouldn't be too upset if he died, you know? I think that Abraham, just based on what happened in the comics, he should have already died, but he hasn't yet. I do think he's kind of up there. I think that there's, like, some people in the red zone, and I think that that's Daryl. I know a lot of people probably won't think it's Daryl, but I think Daryl's at least in some kind of danger right now of maybe not sticking around for too much longer. And Abe and Glenn. Let's see, Jason lives 666. Dang. That's a hardcore name. Sounds like you get into some seance-y kind of stuff. I've done that before. Not a good idea. 2-parter. Do you think The Walking Dead has peaked or jumped the shark? I don't think the show has peaked yet. To the point to where it's just on a downhill thing. Because I think that this next season, honestly, is going to be one of the best seasons they're ever going to do. Just because of the Negan storyline. I mean, his storyline is so good that I don't give a fuck about anything else. I really don't. I mean, that's not true. I obviously care about things, but you know what I mean. So no, I don't think they peaked yet. and or jump the shark. No, I mean, not yet. Maybe, I mean, I just feel like they could have done things better to where it wouldn't seem so quick. Like, everything seemed quick the way that they put it together, because they tried to focus on the wrong things and spent too much time on those, and then rushed all the things that they should have taken their time with. So I just think that they kind of got mixed up there, and then kind of, I don't know, kind of messed with the flow, and that's kind of what's going on. I don't think that they jumped the shark or anything. I just think that they just could have went better about putting it together, you know? And do you think in the long run the comics will ultimately be looked upon better than the show, or vice versa? Well, this is how it is with me, okay? I prefer the comics over the show. I always have, and I always will. I just feel like there's more there in the comics, and there's more story, there's more character, there's a lot more to happen, and you have more time with a comic. With a show, you have a very kind of, you have to work within a certain time frame, and you can't, you know, you kind of have boundaries, I think, more on a television show than in the comics. And I just prefer the comics over the show. But anytime that there's anything based on a book or a comic or whatever, I always prefer the original, you know, the book or the comic, rather than the movie or the TV show. Long story short, in terms of what will be looked on better in the future, I mean, I guess that just depends on how the show ends up playing out, but I don't know, I just kind of will probably always prefer the comics. Let's see, dark jump scare, hey, what is your natural hair color? Believe it or not, my natural hair color is like a dark blonde. Take a second and picture it, just think about it for a minute, me with like dark blonde hair. Nope. Another one from Dark Jump Scare. What was your favorite part in Batman vs Superman? Oh my god. I really liked how they did the Wayne's death in the movie, Thomas and Martha. It's like, I think it's my favorite version of the death of his parents. Jeopardy Morgan, bitch! That's always a plus. And then the end, which I'm not going to spoil it if you haven't seen it, but God almighty, I cried so hard. I went and watched it with my friend, and as soon as it happened, I grabbed a hold of him like this and just started to cry. I was so upset. But I know everything's okay, but still, it just makes me upset. Terry, I'm not even going to attempt that last name, girl. I will fucking butcher the shit out of it, so I'm just, you know who you are. What do you think about Rick and Michonne's scene sharing an apple? What do you think it was about? Do you think it has to do with conception, or forbidden fruit, love, or just an alternative to brushing their teeth with toothpaste? Basically, they're talking about how the books on the end of the table where Michonne took the apple are foreshadowing for Michonne being taken prisoner by Negan and some stuff happening between them. Since your predictions are always on point, how likely do you think that we are to see Negan and Michonne interact? That's if he doesn't kill her. Oh lord. I like to look at, like, I love to see people's kind of interpretations of a lot of, because Scott Gimple likes to do that shit. He likes to put really meaningful things in things like that, and then when the rest of us don't know what the fuck he meant by it, he's like, oh, didn't you know that I meant that this was like the answer to the universe? And it's like, what the fuck are you talking, like, that was a door. Like, I honestly don't know. I mean, listen, if I were that clever, I would have thought that it might have been something like that, like the apple being forbidden fruit or something along the lines of that. But because I'm me, I thought they were just eating an apple just to eat it, or because it was like showing what they are now receiving from the hilltop, you know, kind of the connection between the two communities, and now they're sharing it together. And because it's me, I was just like, oh, look how cute, they're sharing an apple. I didn't think anything else of it. I would love for Negan and Michonne to interact with one another. I don't want him to touch her. Not touch her, but I don't want him to hurt her or anything like that. But I do want him to interact with her, because he didn't interact with her during the lineup, and he does in the comics. He flirts with her and says, you know, the last thing he wants to do to her is kill her, you know, but he still wants to kill her because you know, he was like flirty with her and stuff, and I really wanted that to happen. I was like pushing for that to happen, and then he didn't do it, and I was like, Negan, what the fuck? Like, so just because of, like, they're my two favorite people, I want them to interact somehow, even if it's Michonne threatening to kill his ass. I mean, that would be crazy if Michonne ended up being, like, taken hostage by the Saviors, and Negan, like, kidnapped her and, like, kept her up. Like how he did with Carl, which he didn't kidnap Carl. Carl showed up there on his own. He stowed away in the truck. But if Michonne ended up, like, being taken to the sanctuary and she's, like, walking around, like, looking at the wives and stuff, like, that would actually be really great. Lainey Love! Hello, Lainey. Let's see. So glad you decided to do a Q&A. Love your reaction vids. Thank you, Lainey. I just wanted to know if you would do a rundown on some of the worst episodes of The Walking Dead. Not so much nitpicking, but as far as story-wise, objectively, you rock. You rock, Lainey! Well, one of my least favorite things that they've done, just in general, was the episode where Glenn dies and then, Rick gets, or was that the second episode? Was that the same episode that happened? Regardless, when Rick gets trapped in the RV, surrounded by those walkers with the herd, you know, the herd, and then, but somehow he miraculously gets out of that situation, and is, the next time we see him, he's running home free to Alexandria with all of them on his tail. Like, how the fuck did he get out of that RV in the first place, in the middle of that herd, and how is he just that much ahead of them? Like, what the fuck happened? Like, how did that happen? We didn't see him get out of that RV. We don't know what the fuck happened, or how, like, what, why, see, that's like, they did so many plot holes this season, it's not even funny. That fucking shit, and then the Glenn thing, will always be pissed about, that was so stupid. And then there's a lot of times they just do things and then they don't ever talk about them again. They don't explain them. They're really bad about that. They will do shit and then not explain it or talk about it again, ever. They do that shit all the time. Like, season 6, I think, was the worst for it. But, yeah, I mean, I could go on a whole, like, 25-minute video of just me ranting about how awful some of these things were, but a 1960s girl, love that name. Do you think Rick and Michonne will have an ongoing relationship? Yeah, I think that Rick and Michonne, this is a long-term thing. This is like, she ain't going nowhere and they're not going anywhere. Michelle J, so I have your favorite lipstick color. I wear it almost every day. Nice, me too, literally. Let's see, however, what other makeup do you adore, like your foundation, eyeliner, mascara, powder, etc.? Where did you learn to apply your makeup so skillfully? Big hug, sister wife. Hello? Oh, you're one of my sister wives, okay. Let's see. Well, I really like the Kat Von D line. Her foundations and eyeliner is so good. Oh my god. And mascara, I just use like drugstore mascaras, whatever I pick up. Honestly, to me, mascara is mascara. I don't care. And I don't really have long eyelashes, so it's not even like it does anything for me. Yeah. Flesh lol. Do you watch Game of Thrones? If you do, why don't you review? I do watch Game of Thrones. I don't review it because, listen, that show is so complicated. There's so much going on all the time in all these different areas of everything. I couldn't do it. Like, it's just, I'm getting a migraine just thinking about it. I don't love, let's put it this way, I don't love it as much as I love The Walking Dead, to where, like, I willingly put myself through these migraine-inducing things for The Walking Dead. I don't think I could do it for Game of Thrones, though. Dick Fortner, again. That's how you say it, right? I don't know. Anyway. Let's see here. I have 2 more questions for you. Are you into Shakespeare at all? And have you ever thought of becoming an actress? Thanks. Am I into Shakespeare? I don't hate it. Let's put it that way. I just feel like there's other poets and that I like a lot more than Shakespeare. I do enjoy Shakespeare. I'm not like a fangirl of Shakespeare or anything. I like it though. And have I ever thought of becoming an actress? I I would love to be one, yes, but, I don't know. Listen, all I want is to be one of Negan's wives. That's all I want. Just, like I said before, I don't even have to be in the, I could be in the very back of the room, bitch. I don't give a fuck if I'm, like, just AMC, please. Just stick me in there, put me in, like I said, I'll be in the very back, just so that I can just look at him. That's all I care about, okay? Just let me do it, please. I'll bring my own lingerie. I have tons. Negan will like it. Come on. Let me do it. Come on. That's like, I've been campaigning for that for months now. It's never gonna happen, but I want to do it. I think that's it. If not, whoops. I did want to say though, for one thing, thank you to everyone who asked me questions. I hope that I got to everybody's. If I didn't, sorry. We'll do this again. I do want to say that thank you for asking them, taking the time out to ask them and then watch them after I had to finally edit them together. Another thing that I wanted to talk about was that one of the next videos, probably the next video that I do, I definitely want to try and get this one done next week, if not before then. I want to talk about all of these Negan death theories that are out there, because I keep seeing them uploaded and seeing the thumbnails for them and seeing the titles for them, and I just kind of do one of these because it's actually really starting to get annoying. This is one of the things, this is what I said I was going to hate about them doing the cliffhanger, was all these stupid theories that people were going to come out with and all the shit they were going to say in them. And I want to talk about it and address it because it's actually really starting to annoy me, and I want to put my 2 cents in on the whole thing. So that's going to be coming in the next few days, hopefully. Like I said, I want to try and get that done very, very soon, within the next week or so. I want to get that done and I'm sure there'll be even more stupid videos about it put up in the next week. So, because honestly, you all, it's getting out of hand. It's getting ridiculous. So I need to talk about it. But yeah, until I come back at you with a rant about this stupid shit that people are saying, I am Officer Friendly, and I am over and out. Bye!